Hello everyone, in this particular video we are going to discuss my CA journey right from CPT to IPCC to CA final. For those of you who are asking me to upload the video of my CA journey, here I am uploading the same. So let's watch this entire video in order to understand what my CA journey was and how I was able to consistently secure ranks in all the examinations. So first of all, let me speak about CPT examination. I had given my CPT exam in the month of December 2015. Because I was able to give my 12th examination in the month of November 15, I was fortunate enough to give my CPT immediately 1 month after my 12th exam. My school adopted Cambridge curriculum, that is IGCSE and A levels, and therefore I was able to give my 12th in the month of November 2015. So in this span of 1 month, I had focused only on ICI modules and the questions which were given on ICI BOS knowledge portal. So it is very essential to focus on ICI modules because questions will be picked from the ICI modules itself. So I've been telling you in all my earlier videos also that it is very essential to focus only on ICAI material. So in this 1 month of preparatory leave of CPT, I used to study for 11 to 12 hours in a day, and I used to revise all the 4 subjects of CPT in 1 day. That is 3 hours each subject. And in the last 8 days, I used to revise one subject only. So I used to revise one subject for 2 days itself in the last 8 days. So this was my strategy for CPT examination, and because of which I was able to score very good marks, that is 186 out of 200 in my CPT examination. After I cleared my CPT exams, I joined classes for my IPCC, and my IPCC attempt was in November 2016. For IPCC, I had finished off with all my classes by the month of July, and from August I had gone for self-study. So from August itself, August, September and October, these were the 3 months wherein I had done self-study for my IPCC examination. As I've told you that in the first month we have to do for group 1, then in the second month we have to go for group 2, and in the last month we have to revise both the group subject in reverse order. So in IPCC also this was my strategy, and in the leave period again I had switched off my mobile phone and I was off social media and completely grounded for the entire 3 months. I was not in touch with any of my friends except one who used to solve my doubts, and we used to ask each other the questions which we had. So IPCC was also a very good journey for me, and I think that for IPCC examination you should ideally need a leave of 3 or 3.5 months, which would be sufficient to let you score very good marks in your examination. So for these 9 months were full of fun for me. I used to attend classes, and I didn't used to revise frankly after coming back from my classes. I had done my self-study only in the last 3 months, and trust me friends, whatever you do in the last 3 months is going to be very helpful. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't revise after your classes. Of course it gives you a competitive advantage over others if you revise it after your classes, but then it's also alright even if you don't revise it after your classes, because it was a tiring day for me at least. I used to go for classes for at least 8 hours or 9 hours in a day, and it was not possible for me to revise the entire content. So I just revised the entire content in the last 3 months, and it was easy for me to revise the content in the last 3 months because I thought that instead of revising so early, I think I'll revise it at the last month before my examinations itself. So I think that 3 months is a good time to prepare for your intermediate examination, and I think you can score very good marks if you study dedicatedly in those 3 months leave period. Once I cleared my IPCC, I got the result in the month of Jan 2017. So initially I had an All India rank 10 in my IPCC examination. So you would be shocked to hear this, what I'm going to tell you now. I had put my IPCC papers into revaluation. So I had put accounts and ITSM papers into revaluation because I thought that in accounts I had scored lesser marks. So I had scored 62 in accounts, and the paper of accounting of IPCC November 16 was very easy, and I was expecting 80 plus in my accounting subject. So I was very fortunate enough to get a call from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India after 4.5 or 5 months from my IPCC result, and they told me that congratulations dear student, your rank has been upgraded from 10 to 5 as 16 marks in your accounting subjects have increased. So almost 1 question's marks they wouldn't have given, and they had increased 16 marks in my accounting subject. So one advice which I would like to give all of you is that put your papers into revaluation. If you think that you are confident that you should have had got more marks, I think you should put your papers into revaluation. So I had put my papers into revaluation, and I was fortunate enough to get an AIR 5 in my IPCC, or else I would have had the 10th rank in my IPCC examination. So this was a turning point, of course, and this was only possible because of my mentor Mayur Sanghvi sir. He's the owner of Mindspark Academy in Nasik, and he had forced me to put my papers into revaluation. So it is only because of him that my rank had been upgraded from 10 to 5, and it is only because of him that I was able to score a rank in my IPCC as well as a rank in my CA finals. And then after clearing my IPCC examination, I went on to my articleship. So I chose a mid-sized firm because I wanted an overall exposure of all the departments, that is GST, direct tax, statutory audit, concurrent audit, finance, valuations, and therefore I chose a mid-sized firm that would give me an overall exposure. And therefore that is the main reason I didn't go for Big Four, because it would have been possible for me to go for a Big Four because of my rank in my IPCC examination. I didn't go for a Big Four because of this particular reason only, that there is a departmentalization concept in Big Four, and there are very rare chances that you will get a rotation in a Big Four firm. And this was the main reason I chose a mid-sized firm for my articleship. My articleship has also been very adventurous, that I have had an exposure in GST, direct tax, finance, and assessment, litigation, appeals, all the things, all the areas, and I was very fortunate enough to work with one of the best firms in Mumbai. So in articleship also, I had done a lot of extracurricular activities even in my hostel and even in some other events as well. So as I had told you that I had presented papers in some students conferences, I had anchored the events in national conferences. So I would advise all of you to utilize the first year of articleship very efficiently and be a part of all the events which are happening around you in your society. So your first year of articleship has to be filled with a lot of fun and a lot of work. On weekdays you have to work in your offices, and on weekends you have to volunteer some activities so that it will build upon in order to add to your resume, as I told you in the earlier video of how to prepare for campus placements, which would definitely help you seek a job very easily as compared to other candidates. So my articleship has also been a thrilling one, and for my CA finals I had a leave of 4.5 months, and I've already discussed my CA final leave strategy and my CA final classes journey also. So this was my entire journey of CA. I had given my examinations of CA final in the month of November 19, and I received my results of CA final in the month of January 2020. Trust me friends, the day when you receive your CA final results and the day when you see the 2 pass on your CA final mark sheet, that is going to be a life-changing moment for all of you. One advice which I would like to give all of you, and one thing which I had consistently maintained in all the leave period of my CPT, IPCC or final, is that I had switched off my mobile phone for the leave period of CPT of 1 month, 3 months of IPCC and 4.5 months of CA final. Try to switch off your mobile phone. If it is not possible for you to switch off your mobile phone, at least try to keep it on airplane mode, and daily at night check it for 15 minutes maximum. What happens is that once we switch on any of the social media app like Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, we keep on surfing, and therefore we don't realize that we have wasted 20 to 25 minutes of our time, and this is the biggest mistake which according to me people make, and that is the biggest reason of failure. So don't get me wrong here, but try to avoid using your mobile phones in your leave period so that you are not distracted by any external disturbances which are occurring in your life. Let me tell you one thing, since all of you are finance students, the net present value of using social media is negative. That is not even zero, but it is negative. I'll just explain you how. There is a consistent outflow of your time. You are giving your time consistently and you are wasting your time by surfing and watching what other people are doing in their life. And what is the inflow? Nothing. There is no inflow at all because you are not gaining anything. I can understand that you would be doing it just for refreshment or just to chill out some of the time. You can't study for the entire day. But then I request all of you to avoid all this in your CA final leave period or CA IPCC leave period, because this is the major cause of distraction. Your inflow is zero and your outflow is consistently increasing. That is giving off your time, and therefore the net present value of any social media app is negative until and unless you use it for a useful purpose. That is watching YouTube revision lectures and stuff like that. So I would just request all of you to avoid social media usage in your leave period. Try to switch off your mobile phone and study with a lot of concentration, dedication and focus. What happens is that in a student's mind there are a lot of distractions which tend to happen. So ideally when you sit for studying, you should just think as if you and the books are the only thing which exists in this entire planet. I know this is going to sound nerdy, but then trust me, if you focus and if you concentrate your studies with this amount of dedication, no one is going to stop you from becoming a successful chartered accountant. One advice which I would like to give is that you have to make sacrifices. As I've told you in my earlier videos also, that sacrifices which you make in your leave period are going to be worth it. I always used to remember this particular quote which I've told you in my earlier video also. If you don't sacrifice for what you want, then what you want becomes the sacrifice. Therefore friends, you have to sacrifice some of the other things, and thus all these sacrifices will be worth it once you get the CA degree and the CA results on your results day. Trust me, the short-term enjoyments in going out on beaches or going out on movies, hanging out with friends, these are not going to last at all. Your long-term enjoyment of getting a CA degree is going to be remembered by each and everyone around you, including you. I would just like to conclude by saying one last advice, that you have to be unique and you have to be different from everyone in this particular planet. Companies are going to shortlist you and people are going to value you only if you have some different capabilities from other candidates. Therefore, try to be unique and try to be differentiated from everyone. Because if you will remain best, you will be number one. But if you will remain unique, you will be the only one. And if you want to be the only one, you ought to remain unique from everyone. So friends, one last advice to conclude, I would just like to say that temporary happiness of going out to beaches or watching out movies is just synthetic, with a shelf life of just 2 or 3 days maximum. Rather focus on your bigger dreams that are going to last for the rest of your lifetime. And once you just achieve your dreams, then watching out of movies or going out on beaches would be more interesting and more fun, realizing that you have achieved something and you have done something in your life. So thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next video. I hope you like this particular video. If you like this, do share it with all your friends and subscribe to my channel so that I can prepare more videos for all of you. So thank you once again for watching this video. See you in the next video.